All right, let's talk about one of the most important journeys any of us will ever take, personal growth. Now, it can feel messy, right? Unpredictable, even chaotic. But what if there's a pattern to it, a kind of universal anatomy? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break down that structure and map out a clearer path from who you are right now to the person you are truly destined to be.
And it all kicks off right here. Before anyone else gets on board, before you get a single like or a word of encouragement, the very first domino that has to fall is your own belief in yourself. And look, this isn't just some feel-good quote. It's the entire foundation. Without it, the whole thing just crumbles.
So that brings us to our first stage, the spark of belief. This is the bedrock, It's that quiet, internal decision you make the moment you decide that yes, you are capable of more, and that your vision for your own life is absolutely worth fighting for. Everything that comes next is built on this one powerful idea. Think about it this way. Your mindset isn't just some small part of the process. It's the primary tool you have. The very same mental energy can be used to build a cage of self-doubt and excuses, or it can be forged into wings that give you the freedom to fly. And the crazy part? The choice of what to build is 100% yours. But here's the catch. Belief, as crucial as it is just potential energy. It's the spark. So what creates the heat, the light, the unstoppable force of real change? Well, that's action. The spark of belief has to ignite the fire of action. That combination, that's what creates real momentum. So you've got the belief, you're taking action, and then boom, resistance hits. It's inevitable. But the key is to stop seeing it as a roadblock and start seeing it as the forge of resistance, a place where challenges aren't there to stop you, but to actually shape you into someone stronger. And this is the fundamental choice we all have to make, right? On one side, you've got your comfort zone. It feels safe, it feels predictable, but let's be honest, it's a cage. And on the other side, that's courage. And courage is the key that unlocks the door to that cage. Real, meaningful growth only ever happens on the other side of that door, in that space where you're willing to get a little uncomfortable.
So how do we actually deal with that resistance? We just need to change the definition. An obstacle isn't a wall. Think of it more like an invitation, sent from the future version of yourself. It's a test to see if you're really ready, if you have what it takes to become the person who can handle that future. It's not there to beat you, it's there to prepare you.
Now, one of the toughest truths you'll face in this forge is that moving forward often means leaving something behind. It means saying goodbye to old habits, to limiting beliefs, and sometimes even to people who don't fit into the next chapter of your life. It's tough, but you're just clearing the path ahead. Imagine your life as a story. You can't start an amazing new chapter if you're still desperately trying to rewrite the old one. Closing a chapter isn't just an ending, it's about creating space. It's about giving your own story the oxygen it needs to really come alive.
Okay, so when you're right in the thick of it, when the obstacles feel huge and the goodbyes are hard, this is the question you have to ask yourself. That moment when you feel like quitting, it is so often the exact moment before the tide turns. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a strategic tool to keep you going when you need it most.
You see, overcoming resistance isn't really about one single dramatic battle. It's what leads you to the next, and maybe most important phase, the language of consistency. This is where the real transformation happens, in the quiet, daily practice. It's about building your future not in giant leaps, but one small, deliberate step at a time. I love this metaphor because it makes it so clear. The dream, that's just the seed. But a seed does nothing by itself, right? The grind, that daily, unglamorous work that nobody sees, that's the water. And for the longest time, it feels like nothing is happening. But that's just the nature of growth. You keep watering it, day after day, and the progress is totally invisible. Until suddenly, one day, it isn't. And this is how we need to start thinking about that daily grind. So often we see discipline as a punishment, as a restriction. But what if we flip that? What if every act of discipline today is actually a gift, a sign of love you're sending to the person you'll be tomorrow? It's a profound act of self-care. It's an investment in your own future. This thinking completely changes how we see success. It isn't some destination you arrive at and then you own it forever. No way. It's more like a place you rent, and the rent is due every single day. The price is your commitment, your consistency. The work is never really done. So, after all the belief, the resistance, and the consistency, we finally arrive at the last section, the unveiling.
This is where it all clicks. This is where you understand the true purpose of this whole journey. It was never about the trophy at the end. It was about the person you had to become to get there.
And that is the absolute key shift in perspective. You realize the goal was never just a title or a number in your bank account. The real chase is the chase for your own potential. It's about stopping to follow the paths that other people made and starting to forge your own, leaving your own unique footprints for others to see.
Now, as you change, you have to remember this. Not everyone is going to get it. People who are really comfortable with the old you, they might get confused, maybe even a little resistant to the new you. But please don't see this as a problem, see it as evidence. It's a sign that your transformation is real, deep, and that it's actually working.
And this, right here, this is the ultimate goal, the pinnacle of the whole journey. It's not about forgetting where you came from, not at all. It's about evolving so profoundly that the person you are today would be almost unrecognizable to the person you used to be. That signifies a complete and total transformation. Which brings us to our final question. After all of it, the spark, the struggles, that daily grind, what's the real metric? When it's all said and done, what's the final measure of a journey well lived? The answer, it turns out, is pretty simple, but so profound. The achievements, the awards, all the external stuff, it's secondary. The true prize, the ultimate legacy of your entire journey, is the person you forged yourself into along the way. That, right there, is the real anatomy of growth. It's never about what you get, it's always about who you become.